X-Men 97, Season 2, Episode 2, and this episode I thought was a lot better than Episode 1. This episode, I found it to be, you know what it is? I think I'm wondering when it comes to X-Men that for me, the stories that I quite lock onto are the more grounded stuff. So the moment we do time travel and when things get cosmic, and maybe because my real exposure to the X-Men have been the movies, and the movies have been kind of a little bit more grounded than, that it has just been the civil rights movement with superpowers, basically, versus, the comics, which is very cosmic and all that kind of stuff that, Dark Phoenix is the closest to the cosmic side that I have experienced when it comes to X-Men. I do want to read X-Men. It's pretty fucking hard to do so, because there's like more comics than any other character of a team would combine. It's hard to get into X-Men, or start reading X-Men, you may say. But what I found is that I think I found the more grounded stories are probably more appealing. So going back to 97, back to the 90s, and we're seeing with Jubilee and seeing how the world is coping with the events of what happened last season, and how there's now two X-Team. You got basically the Suicide Squad, but with mutants, with X-Factor, and then you got our main characters of this episode, which are X-Force, which is run by Cable, Jubilee, and Sunspot has entered into the team, and they're basically just private, military, we do our own thing type of, do our own missions, and we're judge, jury, and executioner, because there's a scene where there's one of Apocalypse's horsemen, and they capture him, they question him, and they go and execute him. And of course, naturally, Jubilee is so used to the X-Men wolves, and how the X-Men are quite like, no, we don't kill, and kind of showing how different X-Force are, how they are able to just, they don't, niceness is not really, manners are not really that important to Cable, to X-Force and that. You get other characters showing up in this episode. Of course, you got Emma Frost in this. You got the, I assume this is a character who showed up in the original show, the green hair girl. Yeah, I assume it's the green hair girl. So when that comes, so you get the concept of history with, fractions of it. Like this episode I quite enjoy a lot more because of the well-being aspect of things. And at the end of it, with the Nathan young Cable has to say goodbye to his parents, and I love the scene where it's just like, Cyclops and Jean are trying to evince this like cube that tells them, no, they need to go back to their time, and how you have parent and child basically trying to say, no, why can't one stay and the other one, why can't Nathan shows up, but why can't he just tag along with them? And so there's that fighting thing. It might be like the longest time for for Nathan's case, until he sees his parents again. It's probably when he sees them, he's Cable, he's full on robotics and all that. So you got that thing going on, but this episode and also the opening theme and how it's all X-Force kind of theme. I enjoyed that as well. I thought this episode it was good. It was a good episode, a lot better than episode 1, and anyway, seeing the episode, comment a lot, and also the Jubilee fight. Because let's be honest, like, probably if you haven't seen the Universal show, you see Jubilee and you go, really? What's so special about her? And then you have this, like, big action sequence of her kicking out these security guards, because turns out the government X-Men, the X Factor, haven't really done who they think are the bad guys, ain't that bad guy-ish. It's just children or innocent, teenagers who probably have done nothing wrong, but probably were there at the wrong place at the wrong time in those situations, or they use their powers, and because they use their powers uncontrollably, things happen, all these type of things. But anyway, kind of showing that maybe the government's way of how to deal with the mutant colonies might not be the best solution as well. Anyway, comment below, let me know your thoughts of this episode.